Major League Baseball, known across the nation as America's pastime, has forever held its position as one of the big three sports in the U.S. As technology improved, audience preferences changed, and so did the NFL and the NBA. The MLB has failed to connect on a national level to millennial and Gen Z audiences as an attractive sport to play and watch. Attendance at MLB games in 2019 was down 1.7% from the previous year and 14% from the record high attendance in 2007. Despite having invested in the player social media program, Octagon's creative agency, and robust social media profiles, the MLB leaves potential revenue on the table. Specifically related to their digital presence and strategy, the MLB can improve their reach and engagement by leveraging and building their stars' social media profiles, increasing availability of content related to stars in more local markets, and communicating a new brand image around family, friends, and fun through search engine optimization, online advertisements, and social accounts that foster the same community feel at the stadium. The MLB has developed vastly improved content across their social portfolio in 2020, but still when compared to other leagues slacks behind in size, following, and engagement. One can argue that part of the MLB's disadvantage is rooted in the nature of the very sport and the attractiveness of the game to viewers. Regardless, the sport can do more to change the availability and exposure of their stars and the way baseball is perceived by fans and the average American. To further understand the MLB's digital presence, I'll analyze their top 5 social media profiles and how they stack up against the NBA and NFL. On Instagram, the MLB has 6.8 million followers, a much smaller following than the NFL's 19 million and NBA's 51.6 million. In terms of activity, the MLB has made 29.1 thousand posts, the NFL has made 34.6 thousand, and the NBA has made 37.3 thousand. In many cases, baseball's 162-game season gives it an edge by way of pure volume in amassing viewership. Instagram also happens to be the MLB's most engaging channel, surpassing Twitter. This raises an interesting question. Why is the MLB not posting at a higher rate when they produce so much more live content than any other sport and are seeing higher engagement on the platform? Looking further into the actual content posted on the Instagram page, it's easy to see a striking difference between the types of posts and images portrayed by each of the leagues. The MLB actually uses photos the most of any content type and also sees the highest level of engagement through photos. Their Instagram content can best be described as a healthy portion of digitally edited infographics, scattered throwback highlights, some celebratory videos, and a large portion of photos of the players during the game. With respect to the graphics, I've shown the MLB actually has done a decent job using the most engaging content type, that being photos, the most. The NBA and NFL actually are quite different in that each utilize much more video content. Both leagues, and especially the NBA, which gloats the largest profile following, use quotes, interviews, and personality-revealing content on their superstars. They also each offer sport community and related accounts like NBA Kicks and NFL Fantasy to give their audience a chance to see their sport in different ways. The MLB has a gap to fill here on Instagram in utilizing its star power and cultivating more national communities of fan bases. It would be exhaustive to analyze each of the next 4 social media outlets as extensively. Regardless, here are some important takeaways from each of the MLB's other accounts. Twitter is used the most by the individual baseball teams. The infographics shown might be misleading since we know the nature of Twitter is to tweet short messages, videos, or images as a fast and easy way to disseminate news. In this sense, it's the easiest platform for teams to use, as shown by text accounting, for the second most popular content type used across the MLB. Baseball fans are simply still looking for basic stats, lineup info, and other baseball news, but have begun to use Twitter to check. Still, baseball has the smallest following and least posts of the 3 major sport leagues in Twitter. Facebook is the second most popular channel used by MLB teams. The MLB page doesn't stack up well against the NFL and NBA in page likes here. The common theme, if you haven't caught on to it yet, is that the MLB has the least engagement on each of the 5 social outlets I'm discussing today. Building out MLB's video and YouTube teams will be a main priority of the league's marketing efforts in 2020, according to the league's Senior Vice President of Marketing, Barbara McHugh. YouTube is the one outlet where the MLB actually has posted the most of the 3 major sports, and by a long shot, with 280,569 videos, but only 2.64 million subscribers to show for it. Perhaps the biggest room for improvement lies in the use of the fastest growing outlet, TikTok. And although Major League Baseball has seen early gains on the video sharing platform, team interest is still low. Data from late January shows only the Cubs having more than 100,000 followers and only 14 total teams using TikTok in general. The NFL has 22 of its 29 teams already at about 100,000 following, and the NBA has a team with over 1 million followers, the Golden State Warriors. TikTok is an outlet used by an overwhelming majority of millennials and Gen Z audience. The effort and lack of speed for MLB clubs to join the space sends a message to that audience about the brand and can change perceptions of its readiness to move forward with change, as the NFL and NBA consistently do. The Atlanta Braves were selected by a poll of team representatives as the MLB's best in using social media across the board. Their storytelling, graphics, high-quality video, account voice in social issues, and focus on players was the best. The interesting thing with Major League Baseball that provides the most rational explanation to so many of its problems is shown in this infographic. The MLB uses the most engaging content type the most frequently, and both the most preferred themes and tones the most frequently. They are communicating in the right places and in the right way, but to an audience fragmented by a disconnected team and league plan of marketing star power, to an audience that is right now, as shown in the graph, truly defined by their location. With the current structure of the MLB's TV deals, we can't watch many games outside of our region at all during the year, and fans so overwhelmingly root for teams in the state that they live in. It's fed a two-headed problem the MLB has right now, because fans only see their team games mostly, and teams are not on the same page as the MLB in truly marketing the personality of their stars. Most fans don't care to watch the playoffs or World Series because they haven't been primed enough to care about watching Blake Snell or Corey Seager during the season. YouGov reported that only 43% of Americans have heard of Mike Trout, while 91% have heard of Tom Brady, and 88% have heard of LeBron James. That statistic speaks volumes when understanding the work that needs to be done by the MLB in marketing its top talent. The MLB actually has invested in the player social media program with Greenfly that provides the players with personalized videos and edited photos with stats or effects to help its stars easily post and grow their accounts. Despite players seeing an average bump in engagement by 47%, it hasn't been enough thus far. So leveraging the MLB's Instagram the way the NBA has for its stars and even incentivizing account growth through Greenfly for more players could help create higher and more widespread awareness. Coupled with poor levels of exposure nationally, it is easy to see that in baseball, fans are local. And so is interest, whereas in the NFL and NBA, people stay more interested in other games, not including their team year-round. In order to tackle some of these issues, I've developed a few ideas outside of simply posting more frequently for the MLB to utilize in future digital marketing efforts. In order to approach the issue of local fan bases and few national communities, the MLB should focus on determining the cool things about its game that people like, whether that be an MLB chains and jewelry swag page, an MLB-sponsored bloopers page, or a page just for the game's stars, mic'd up. These pages can bring together different fan bases and actually help to learn more about the teams and players. One other concept would be creating a more fast-paced digital element to perhaps the MLB's Instagram highlights that only posts potential scoring moments, much like NFL Red Zone. This can interest those fans that find the rest of baseball boring and can help us see more of the team that aren't in our TV network. In order to approach the issue of superstar awareness, the MLB should incentivize the use of the player social media program through Greenfly and growth of social accounts with milestone bonuses. Rebranding the MLB's highly engaging Instagram to include more interviews and lifestyle posts of their stars might grab the attention of its audience more, as shown in the NBA. In order to alter the brand image of baseball as a fun sport that is accessible to younger people, I propose that investments in SEO and online advertisements can truly plug baseball into the mind of targeted audiences when they search for things to do, sports, or summer games. Brand image can also be creatively altered through YouTube and TikTok trends. Using the help of a creative agency and influencers, baseball can work to create either ads or trends where people can make baseball seem fun, even if it's something as simple as a bat flip TikTok trend with a catchy song. All of my proposals also require the collaboration, or at the very least communication, between the league and its clubs on how to move forward in the digital landscape. With movement in the right direction and much improved storytelling and videography from the MLB, their current issue in digital reach and community, coupled with poor leverage of star power, will continue to refrain America's pastime from becoming a part of its future, without its much-needed changes.